Alright, GhostRecon. So, this video I'm doing is going to cover the controls. Now, although we have just gotten this update and everything, there's some things that I've noticed that has not been addressed. Far as GhostRecon, some of the fans and some of the other YouTubers, and maybe they haven't noticed it or anything, but it's definitely been something that has bothered me, and I'm gonna cover it during this video. So, it involves the controls and pretty much the little per se ergonomics and accessibility of how things are to function or should function, even recommendations on how to make things better. So I have, been playing on a controls game that seems very familiar to me. It's right here, GhostRecon Future Soldier. So my current mapping is just like so. So I sprint with A, just like Future Soldier. The only thing that's probably different from Future Soldier is the melee attacks or whatnot. But everything seems to be mapped accordingly. And I'll just scroll right through it. So, with this recent update, we got a new function within these mappings, and it's right. Let's see here, optical camo HUD shortcut. So, optical camo is a Future Soldier feature. It was pretty much automatic. Now, my biggest problem is with that, though we get these updates and these improvements to gameplay, there seems to be one step forward and one step back type momentum. I say that because let's take a look at this default control. It's right bumper X. Now, there's different functions with like the class technique here. It's left bumper and right bumper. Or your camera mode, which is the left stick in, right stick in. And now this. Now my issue with that is that when they came up with the idea of doing this, what was the whole idea behind if I wanted to map something here, which that's what I did originally with my items. Let's see, right here, item number slot 8 right here. So my item button is right bumper. So I'm guessing on the PlayStation platform is going to be R1, and the number 8 to correspond pretty much with my button layout. So that's right bumper X. This has the same function. Now let's take a look at the gameplay. All right.
It's a shame they were scattered and weakened.
Rally on my position.
They don't lack guts.
Got this guy right here. So if I want to sneak up on this guy, which he's being held hostage, I'll hold right bumper. And you see my at the bottom left hand corner where it says activate. Now look up here where it has my grenade. I have this mapped out to kind of correspond with
All is calm over here.
the functions X, Y, B. That way I can just quick swap these. So now if I want to
Russia is blind.
do active camo, I'm selecting my grenade still.
You ever think we'd end up here?
Just give me a hot meal and point me towards the action.
So now, let's take a look at another feature
Erewhon was starting to smell like
that
a lot.
conflicts, or is just that one step forward, one step back type thing. And this is also the same same kind of ordeal. It's actually never been actually addressed. I've put forums up, and not forums. I've been putting things in the support forums to address it. There is this sync shot. So you have engage sync shot. I'm gonna go ahead and put the reset on there. Alright. It's A. You hold A. However, it doesn't engage off of A. Engage off of left bumper. So let's get this left bumper right here. I currently have it equipped. Let's get us a target. Alright, sniper. Now, it even says sync shot. Remote killer LB. Put on target. Hold LB to activate. However, it takes it's mapped by A. Let's see if I can get over here.
Moving here.
Alright, now just which A is my sprint. Engage, sync shot, hold A. So what's the purpose of it? If I map something, remove this function here, and it is still activate the optic camo. It's removed. Alright. Now let's test this idea. I'm sprinting, as you just confirmed with myself that it should engage it. It doesn't. Hold LB.
Sweet.
The camo. The mapping of controls and binds and it being having integrity between what I want it to do versus what it's going to do. The next thing I want to address is these limitations here. As far as some things are hold, some things you can remap the double tap, and some things you have press. Alright, so the thing is with that is these are being fulfilled. Anything that has pretty much the options to change from tap or press, double tap, and hold, these are being fulfilled. The ones that aren't highlighted, like these here and these, any of these that don't have the options to be changed aren't being fulfilled. Hence these over here. Okay, so which I don't understand one thing, because we have this here as right bumper X. Why can't I map a lot of these functions to right bumper X or right bumper Y or right bumper B? For example, go ahead and unbind this because it's pointless to have. these items, particular items, your drone, defense drone. Let's see. Your cycle vision and your suppressor. All those are particular items. But we have buttons dedicated to these items. So there was a big thing where these buttons conflicted with your orders. Whereas old versions of the game use the left D-pad, up on the D-pad, and right on the D-pad to give out quick orders. This one you have to hold right bumper and hit up, left, and right, and down to do an action. Now, I question, why would you map it that way? Ergonomically speaking, or accessibility is not gonna be
way to get it done.
Really functional to have what, 3 types of actions to fulfill one task. Good thing I remap my command system a different way. And now let's take a look. So at the very bottom, this is the command, excuse me, that I have mapped. So to bring up the order wheel, it's gonna be the right stick in. You hold the right stick in, which will bring up the order wheel, and then you have these quick orders that you can execute. Now, if you just hold the right stick in, it's gonna bring up order number 1 automatically. Order number 1 is gonna be moved to. Processes, I go through 1.
Can't go to that position. It's got hostiles.
I need you to set in a new position. Over there.
Got it. Moving there now.
Find a good spot over there.
But see, all this
I
could have
need you
been
to set in
mitigated
over there.
had
Cool. We're moving.
the left, right, and up on the D-pad not been mapped to items when you have a whole button, which is the right bumper or R1 for the PlayStation, for items. And it's
Thanks.
I don't think anybody has brought it to mind as far as the considerations on how they placed it, but it's literally I kind of bumper hit orders to do so, and then select it from there. And if you take a look at the old video, the AI teammates videos that I did bring up, I still had shortcuts for those to kind of mitigate the task of having to press 3 or 4 buttons to make one action be executed.
There's no way.
So
Can't get there.
let's take a look at more. Another issue that I do have. So the hold function. There's the holds aren't consistent. For example, if you hold your breath here, it says hold here to hold your breath. It also says hold here to hold your breath. However, this utilizes like the sensitivity of your trigger. So you have to slightly hold it in order to do breathing control. Okay? It doesn't function the same way for us everything within the controls, because that hold and this hold is going to be 2 different holds. So I'm gonna put hold for prone. And unless, how this works, unless I continuously hold B, that's when it fulfills this idea of being held. And once I release B, I stand up. It's gonna always do that. The hold for my aim and my hold ref control aren't the same types of hold. One is based off of
Always good to have
sensitivity.
firepower.
Get some cover, Nomad. You gotta get patched up.
One is based off of sensitivity, and the other one is based off of 100% hold. So if I have to slightly hold left trigger, why can't I slightly hold right trigger to have another mapping there? That way I have some type of consistency, and the controls are very inconsistent. Very inconsistent. The other thing is that the items, if you have a rocket or a flashbang, any kind of throwable item, whenever you go to use these buttons, it toggles it or it holds it. Then you can't do anything else with it. I meant to use my hold. Now, if I just press it, it's not the same for binoculars. Because if I just tap LB now, I'm toggled in my binoculars. So what's the purpose of having a tap, double tap, and hold for the options with use item? Let's take a look at that. So what if I wanted to map a double tap? I can't, because everything that's to the LB is now going to be determined off of just pretty much this. And then also with the rockets, you can't even swap sides. And when I say swap sides, it's this camera, the camera option to swap sides. So I have to unequip it, then re-equip, or swap sides, then re-equip the rocket in order to get a better angle on my target. There's no first person with the rockets. I'm gonna go back to this consistency of the controls. So prone says press when I have to hold it to go prone and stay prone. There's no indication of toggles. Let's see what's next. You have a default button that accepts missions, and it will never change. You can't remap that, and you can't remap your objectives. Whatever button toggles on and off objectives. So down is the on the D-pad is the objectives tab to toggle on the interface. Excuse me. And if I wanted to change that, it's gonna always, regardless of what it is, it's gonna always be down on the D-pad. So if I wanted to map my my weapon swap, then it's gonna be toggling things on and off on the D-pad, on the interface. Excuse me. So there's a lot of inconsistencies with these controls. Another thing is that Far as these tabs up here, player, combat and squad, there should really be a spectator camera option up here, because these options, if I wanted to play competitively on the PvE aspect of the game, when I go to swap had a little accident there. When I go to swap shoulders, as I was saying, when I go to swap shoulders, it's gonna swap camera. It's gonna swap over to another character, and I'm gonna continuously be swapping between different characters, based off of this function right here, right bumper. So my ping would be left trigger and right bumper.
Maintain current.
That way I can kind of simulate me shooting my ping at a target. I have control over the left stick and the right stick, where I can move my camera and aim. I'm not aim, but move my character and aim, and I can shoot my ping. Now, if I do that in the multiplayer, trying to ping someone while in the spec. So that's gonna say I want to do it. It's not gonna be in my. It's not gonna be on my end. So they be a additional option of a spectator camera option map, and that the controls need to be reestablished. Now, not reestablished, but reworked pretty much. Now, I mentioned the left trigger and right trigger slightly pull sensitivities, right? Where you hold your breath, like so. So, with that, actually map this camera here, where my gun is fixated in this direction, and this the camera's pulled back, and I could utilize this camera along with my gun to do stuff like this.
Solid kill.
Without aiming. To a slight pull of the right trigger. And many of in previous videos that I've posted. Just for a type of balance.
Holy shit. Nice shot, boss.
Now that they have added this weapon mastery upgrade, I don't have to worry about missing my shots. However, as far as this right here, which is called tactical combat pace, I have to shoot around in order to use it, and then I can go into it with a glitch.
That's it.
Which doesn't have to be if you slightly hold the right trigger, like as mentioned in Grand Theft Auto or Red Dead Redemption, in order to utilize those sensitivities, which is already being used in the game, to hold your breath.
The wolves may be skilled.
Sweet shot, Ghost Lead.
So
Stay low. Hostiles are on alert.
that's pretty much everything I want to cover over
They must think we left.
within this video. I really want them to implement some type of rework or update within these controls to kind of help accessibility, ergonomics, comfortability, whatever it may be as far as this game is concerned. Fixing those inconsistent controls, making it more specific or more understandable. Pretty much overall making it more playable, because right now it is playable under different conditions. It can be more playable if it's more specified, if it's broken down further, if all the options or that are not highlighted within the means, as I showed you, that which you can control and can't control, if all those options can be accessibly changed and given the different option to pretty much combine controls, left bumper and right bumper and left trigger, something of the sort. That way I can map something far as different orders per se, different items to use, or even the class technique to use without having to compromise a lot of things. Changing the way the camera that I use here, being able to map it to something where I could have freedom of it. But yes, that's what I wanted to cover overall in this video. I usually do mainly those FIXIT videos to kind of show the broken gameplay features and stuff that they probably should focus on, but this one in particular is a big one, because if you can't play it, you won't be able to play it. So in conclusion, Ubisoft, please fix the control mappings and bindings for both the consoles and the PCs. That being said,